Hey, my Empire Challenge video here. On this episode, I want to talk to you about education, okay, and my angle, my twist to education, and how I want to share with you today is a little bit different from the conventional, which is typically education is important, right? I'm not disputing that. Of course, education is important, right? But what type of education are you giving your kids, right? So here's the thing. Let's think of it this way, okay? Let's try to keep it simple. But before I get into that, just make sure you go to freeworkshop.us, okay? www.freeworkshop.us, and make sure you attend my free class, okay? It should be running today and tomorrow. So go ahead and attend that if you plan on generating, if you want to generate leads, you want to generate traffic on demand, but you also want to convert it to money. Okay, uh, you want to convert it to sales. Okay, so if you want to do that, absolutely make sure you go to freeworkshop.us. So let's talk about education and. So if you not too long ago, my wife and I we set up a charity. And if you go to olatux.com, my homepage, you'll see you could just go to koafrica.com. That's koafrica.com, and you can please donate $5 or more to the course. And we decided to set it up because both of us we were raised in Nigeria. I was born here. She was born in Nigeria, and we just we were doing this show and we like okay, wanted to attach a bigger purpose to it. So we decided to do a charity that will educate kids in Africa because we remember growing up and I didn't have it bad. I was okay. My we're not the typical poor situation you see on TV in Africa, right? So I had the opportunity of going to school and I was taking the car to school and things like that. So that was my situation growing up in Africa, in Nigeria. But not everybody had that, okay? And we were able to see people that were not like that. Sometimes when traveling on the highway, we will see young kids as little as 4 or 5 years old running and hawking and trying to sell candy, banana, fruits on a highway where cars are literally speeding at 60 to 100 miles per hour, and just remembering that just kind of like make everything a little bit sad for me just thinking about that. And I feel like okay, we can't save all of the thousands of kids that are doing that in Africa, hundreds of thousands literally, but we can save one at a time. And that's why we created the charity koafrica.com to help and send some money and just help kids get in class, and help one kid at a time get educated, at least get in the educational system. So that's something that's very dear to my heart that we are going to build massively as time goes on. But about education, you know that education in this game, entrepreneurship, is very important for you. You know that. You need a coach, you need training, you need ongoing, continuing education. There's no way around it. I promise you, there's none. However way you want to do it. Now you can do it on YouTube for free and just collect a bunch of data that you don't know if it's right or wrong. Or you could have somebody who has done it lead you and help you. You can ask questions, somebody can mentor you, right? Of course, the latter is always better, okay? So, but the educational system, the reason why I send my kids through the educational system here, because I want them to know what to learn and what not to learn, what to do and what not to do, okay? The more important education for me is number one, financial literacy, because they just simply don't teach them that in school. They don't. That's a fact, okay? They don't teach them these things in school, and they're not going to teach them in school. Why? Because they're going to teach them to do the typical things, finish college, get a job, buy a home, buy a car, buy another car for your wife, and just pay bills for the rest of your life. And when you're done retiring, have nothing left to retire on. That means you have to keep working. That's essentially what they're going to be taught in school. But I want to teach them a little better. I want them to understand that they can absolutely take over this world. And that type of education is what I'm talking about. Okay, it's what I'm talking about here right now. You just watching this video, and I want to encourage you to pay attention to self-awareness, to pay attention to the reality of this game, the American dream, right? Whatever you want to call American dream, it's not what it is. Okay, you having the opportunity to do what you want to do is called American dream. Not buying a home that you're not necessarily going to be able to live in, right? After time, you're going to be at a job, right? But you get the point. Education is very important, but you got to pay attention to what type of education are we talking about. How do you want to balance out education for your kids? The way I balance it out, I send them to a regular school, and when they come home, I ask them, and then I adjust. I help them adjust as they move on in life. And I want them to become entrepreneurs, people that take over their own life in whatever capacity. It could be on a job, but it's still entrepreneurship. It's still entrepreneurial. And that's what I'm going to be teaching my kids as time goes on. Just being able to take responsibility for themselves, for their own financial status, for their own life. Okay, everything else can be left in the hands of God. Health, good health, waking up every day, that's God, right? But financial, it's your responsibility. Your decisions up to now has been directly proportional to the kind of education you've had in the past, what you've been exposed to, the kind of people you surround yourself with. All right, so hopefully you've been educated and enlightened. Right now, go to freeworkshop.us if you haven't taken my class, and learn how to take over your life and take complete responsibility when it comes to building your business. I will see you on the next one. Peace.